Right, this is extraordinary, this is historic. This is one of those moments where you remember exactly where you were when you heard the news. Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei is dead. And the way this story has unfolded over the last several hours has been absolutely riveting, absolutely dramatic, and frankly, absolutely chaotic. Since this morning, there has been a swirl of reports, contradictions, denials, and confirmations about the status of Iran's Supreme Leader. It was clear early on that his residence had been targeted in the first strikes. Satellite images showed significant damage to his compound. The first response from Iran was that he had been taken to a safe place. Then came a report that the 86-year-old cleric was going to speak on state television. But nothing materialized. Nothing radio silence from the man who has ruled Iran with an iron fist since 1989. By early evening, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, in a televised address, used a very careful, very deliberate expression. He said the Supreme Leader was gone. But he didn't say Khamenei was dead. No. Explicitly, no, directly. That careful language, that diplomatic hedging, told you everything you needed to know. Netanyahu knew. The Israelis knew. But they weren't quite ready to say it outright. But then a series of reports on Israeli and US media, quoting unnamed officials, left absolutely no doubt about his fate. The man was dead. The Supreme Leader of the Islamic Republic of Iran. The man who has been the ultimate authority in that country for 36 years was gone. All the while, Iranian officials have continued to deny it. One presenter on Iranian state television, without even mentioning Khamenei's name, told the Iranian people to ignore the enemy's psychological propaganda. Ignore it. Don't believe what you are hearing. Don't believe what you are seeing, just trust the regime. Trust the system, but it is very hard to ignore Donald Trump's latest social media post. Isn't it? Because Trump has now officially announced on his Truth Social platform that Ayatollah Khamenei has been killed. And he didn't mince words. Let me read you Trump's statement in full because it is absolutely extraordinary. Trump wrote, Khamenei, one of the most evil people in history, is dead. This is not only justice for the people of Iran, but for all great Americans and those people from many countries throughout the world that have been killed or mutilated by Khamenei and his gang of bloodthirsty thugs. He was unable to avoid our intelligence and highly sophisticated tracking systems and working closely with Israel. There was not a thing he or the other leaders that have been killed along with him could do. This is the single greatest chance for the Iranian people to take back their country. We are hearing that many of their IRGC, military and other security and police forces no longer want to fight and are looking for immunity from us. As I said last night, no, they can have immunity later, they only get death. Hopefully, the IRGC and police will peacefully merge with the Iranian patriots and work together as a unit to bring back the country to the greatness it deserves. That process should soon be starting in that. Not only the death of Khamenei, but the country has been, in only one day, very much destroyed and even obliterated. The heavy and pinpoint bombing, however, will continue uninterrupted throughout the week or as long as necessary to achieve our objective of peace throughout the Middle East and Indiana Eid, the world. Thank you for your attention to this matter. No, there is a lot to unpack in that statement. Trump is declaring this a victory. He is calling Khamenei one of the most evil people in history. With a capital H, he is talking about justice for Americans and people around the world. He is revealing that US intelligence and tracking systems working closely with Israel were able to locate and target Khamenei. He is offering immunity to Iranian military forces who stand down, and he is saying the bombing will continue for a week or as long as necessary. This is Trump seeing an opportunity, seizing a moment and declaring that regime change in Iran is now on the table. But there are so many unanswered questions here, aren't there? For one, Trump has now suggested more than once that he sees this as an opportunity for the Iranian people to take back the country. Take back their country from whom? And give it to whom? He hasn't made clear who exactly he sees running Iran if the Islamic Republic in its current form were to fall. Trump has previously questioned whether the exiled Crown Prince, Reza Pahlavi, has the support needed to govern. So if not him, then who runs Iran after Khamenei? Who fills that vacuum? Because history teaches us very clearly and very brutally that power vacuums in the Middle East do not end well. They end in chaos, civil war, sectarian violence, and often the rise of something even worse than what came before. It may be that Iranian officials are preparing to make an announcement with a certain amount of ceremony. It may be that Iran's Assembly of Experts is already meeting or preparing to meet. They are charged with the responsibility of choosing a new supreme leader. That is their constitutional role. But can they even do that right now? Is the system stable enough? Is there consensus among the clerics? Or is Iran about to descend into internal conflict over succession? These are absolutely defining moments in the turbulent history of the Islamic Republic of Iran and its hostile relationship with Israel and the United States. Let's talk about who Khamenei was, because this matters for understanding what comes next. Born in the northeastern city of Mashhad in 1939, the son of a religious scholar, Ali Khamenei joined the religious opposition movement of Ayatollah Khamenei against Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi in 1962. After the Islamic Revolution in 1979, he became Deputy Defense Minister and helped organize the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC, the very organization that has now been offered immunity by Trump if they stand down. After the death of Khomeini in June 1989, the Assembly of Experts chose Khamenei to be the new supreme leader, even though he had not achieved the required rank among Shia clerics that the constitution stipulated. So they amended the constitution to make him eligible. Think about that. They changed the rules to give him power. And he has maintained a firm grip on Iran's politics and its armed forces for 36 years. He has suppressed challenges to the ruling system, sometimes violently, very violently. He has consistently taken hardline stances on external matters, including the ongoing confrontation with the United States. He has remained suspicious of relations with the West, particularly the US. He has repeatedly called for the elimination of the State of Israel. He has publicly questioned whether the Holocaust occurred. This is a man who has been a force of extremism, oppression, and violence for decades. 7 presidents of Iran have served during his rule. He has 6 children, and now he is dead. And some Iranians are celebrating. A social media video, verified by BBC Persian, shows people in the streets of Karaj celebrating the reported death of Khamenei. Celebrating in the streets before Trump even officially confirmed it. That tells you something about how this man was viewed by at least some portion of the Iranian population. No, as a beloved leader. No, as a revered spiritual guide, but as a tyrant whose death is cause for celebration. Trump's Truth Social post announcing the Ayatollah's death suggests he already sees this as a victory and perhaps the start of what would be a relatively quick campaign. He mentioned a week's worth of strikes, which would be shorter than the 12 days of Israeli airstrikes in Iran last year, and far shorter than previous US air campaigns in Iraq in 1991 or Kosovo in 1999. But Trump is also leaving open the possibility of a lengthier campaign. As long as necessary to achieve our objective, he wrote, that is not a timeline. That is an open-ended commitment. And for an administration that campaigned on a promise of ending long, drawn-out conflicts abroad, any protracted conflict is likely to have important domestic reverberations. Trump's political allies will no doubt make the case that this is something different. An example of what he often terms peace through strength. But if this turns into another endless Middle Eastern war, if American troops get bogged down in Iran, if the casualties mount and the mission creeps, the American public is going to have questions. Hard questions. Here is what we know for certain. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, the supreme leader of Iran since 1989, is dead, killed in strikes that targeted his compound. Donald Trump has officially confirmed it and declared it a victory. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu has strongly implied it. Iranian officials are denying it, but their denials are becoming less and less credible by the hour. Some Iranians are celebrating in the streets. The Assembly of Experts will need to choose a new supreme leader. Trump is offering immunity to Iranian military forces who stand down. And he is promising continued bombing for a week or as long as necessary to achieve peace throughout the Middle East. And indeed, the world. What happens next? Nobody knows. Will there be regime change in Iran? Will the IRGC stand down or fight? Will the Iranian people seize this moment, or will hardliners consolidate power? Will this bring peace to the Middle East, or ignite a wider regional war? These are the questions that will define the coming days, weeks, and potentially months. This is history being made in real time. This is the fall of one of the most significant and controversial leaders in modern Middle Eastern history. And whatever comes next, the world will never be quite the same. This has been your channel name. I'll see you next time.